Day 3 of the NBA Summer League here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Super excited because today we get the matchup, the marquee matchup, which is Jalen Green versus Cade Cunningham. 1 against 2. Detroit Pistons versus Houston Rockets. If you were a draft junkie, this is get your popcorn ready type of game, because a lot of people, again, still believe that Jalen Green is the best player in this class. And there's a lot of pushback on that, and rightfully so, because Cade Cunningham is one of the most complete prospects I've ever evaluated. So the matchup, although it's just a summer league game, it's hyped, and a lot of people are looking forward to watching this game. This game starts 6 p.m. Pacific time, 9 p.m. Eastern for the people on the East Coast. I can't wait, man. We are about 5 hours away from that game. The Kings also go up against the Washington Wizards today. Davion Mitchell put the clamps on my guy James Bouknight last night. That was fun to watch. We'll get into all that as well. And we also get to see Kispert for the first time with the Washington Wizards, who was a number 15 pick. That should be fun. We'll go over some of the other marquee matchups today for day 3 here at the Las Vegas Summer League. And then the latest buzz. What's going on with Pascal Siakam? What's going on with Ben Simmons and the Philadelphia 76ers? There's a lot of stuff that could happen in the next couple of days, or could not. That's just the way the NBA rolls, man. Sometimes the best trades, the trades that make the most sense don't happen, which is super weird because they should happen, right? And they don't. So let's talk about the marquee matchup today, which is Jalen Green versus Cade Cunningham. The Houston Rockets were very impressive in game 1. They had 3 of their 4 first-round picks playing, which was Alperen Sengun, Jalen Green, number 2 pick, and Josh Christopher from Arizona State. They all showed a lot of promise just game 1, but you can already tell. Let's not act. And this is the most funny kind of silly thing that I see. Oh, it's just summer league. Okay, I understand it. Like, we shouldn't be too optimistic or blow things out of proportion. You're right. But when you just completely try to pretty much piss on the idea that because he did have a good game or because he did have a good summer league, it's not worthy of you saying, oh, this prospect's going to be good. Well, then what's the point of having summer league? Like, we shouldn't even have this at all, right? Like, if you don't want optimism, if you don't want fans to get excited, to get hyped, then what is the point of having summer league? I see too many of these tweets on Twitter from a lot of people, from people with big accounts. And again, if you don't want people to get hyped, why have this event? Why have fans from all over the world come to the Las Vegas NBA Summer League? That is the whole point of sports, to feel good, to have something to grab onto, right? And you just want to, like, discredit it on so many levels. Like, that to me doesn't make any sense. Let me know what you guys think about that. How's everybody doing? Tyson, Elijah, I'm guessing you're at the Hyatt. Yes, I am at the Hyatt. Pretty nice room right across from the Thomas and Mack Center. Super close by. It's walking distance, about 5 to 7 minutes, depending if you're a slow or fast walker. You know, at night it's super hot with this dry heat. Again, the air has been so crazy in the AC. I turned my AC off, man, because my right eye, I didn't bring my computer glasses. I've been focusing on my screen too much and editing a lot. So my right eye, I feel like there's a vein that's popped, man, and that sucks, and that's unfortunate. But Alperen Sengun, Jalen Green, I don't know if Garuba is going to play, but if he does, I guess he's on the roster. I would be very excited to watch him play, because to me, he's arguably the best defender in this class, at least today. On August 10th, what's today? August 10th. Davion Mitchell for the Sacramento Kings. He's the best on-ball guard. He's the best guard defensively, without question. But Garuba, overall as a whole, he can guard multiple. It just depends on how you view defense and how you plan on utilizing, again, role optimization, these players, right? Garuba, Davion Mitchell, I would say Miles McBride, pretty good defenders. Pretty good defenders, man. It says Ecamm, the stream quality has downgraded because I'm streaming off of my data, which makes sense. So if you guys aren't looking at a clear stream, because I am streaming from my Sony a7 III, then blame the Wi-Fi. As long as you guys can hear me. So Kevin Fernandez says, man, this Kings defense is crazy good. Absolutely. Today's matchup, I've been sidetracked plenty of times. Today's matchup is going to be fun because a lot of people were, I guess, trying to downplay Cade Cunningham in his first game. He didn't have a great game, but he had a good game to me. He filled up the stat sheet 12. I think it was 12 seconds something else. He didn't shoot the ball relatively well, but he had flashes of just greatness, flashes of why he was a #1 pick. To me, he was fine. The guy is huge. I mean, he's 6'7", 6'8", legit. Again, not an explosive first step, but very skilled with the handle. He's gonna get, or that's how you make up for not having a Jalen Green type first step, right? Or not having a Davion Mitchell, James Bouknight type first step. With the size, the handle, the skill, and Cade Cunningham has that all. He has the vision. So for anyone that was like pessimistic or, you know, trying to dismiss his first game, y'all are smoking something big, because Cade Cunningham is the truth. He is so good, and just watching him play solidified that, to me, he was the best player in this draft. Not to take anything away from Jalen Green, because Jalen Green was no conscience, mama mentality. I don't care if I miss, you know, X amount of shots, I'm going to take the next one. And that's what you need in a star shooting guard, right? Same with James Bouknight. He had a tough night. He had an off night from Mr. Davion Mitchell. That's what he does to guys. He wasn't prepared for that type of intensity in the Summer League game. Hey, guess what? Davion Mitchell plays like this all the time. That's just the type of player he is. And, you know, I was talking to an agent from Excel Sports, I think. Yeah, I think that's the agency. He was right next to me, and he was like, dude, Davion Mitchell, he's like a cornerback in football. He's relentless. I'm like, God diggity. He really is. For real, man. Like, Davion Mitchell is a beast. But what do I anticipate from this matchup? I hope they guard each other. I think it'll be phenomenal. Social media all over, right? Cade against Jalen. Who's going to have the better game? Who's going to win the game? I don't know. I don't know, because both teams, even though the Pistons lost, right? I think Saddiq Bey, if he plays today, I mean, he's so good. Just real quick about Saddiq Bey. He's so solid, man. He's a guy that's going to start for your team for 10, 12 years. He's going to stay healthy because he's a strong body. Villanova product. A lot of people, again, they want to essentially shit on the upperclassman, junior, senior, who comes out, oh, he doesn't have a lot of upside. Bro, are you a good basketball player? Yes or no? Davion Mitchell, Saddiq Bey, good basketball players, ready to make an impact. Chris Duarte, solid player. Y'all saw what he did in his first game with the Pacers. So I just hate the fact that people will bring him, oh, he's 22, he's 23, he's 3 years. Like, no. You're hoping that this 19-year-old gets to this level by the time he's 21, 22. And by that time, he has 2 years left, or a year and a half left on his rookie scale deal. So you didn't get the best production out of him. And again, every team is different. Every team is on different timelines, per se. But see, that's how I see the thing. It's like, okay, well, Davion Mitchell's older, but he's ready to make an impact. Now he's ready to play right now. And that's what we want. We want to try and win games, because that's the essence of playing sports. That's the essence of playing this beautiful game that we call basketball. Why wouldn't you want that? Cade Cunningham, to me, is ready now. I think Jalen Green is ready right now, regardless of their age. That's what I look forward to. Not, oh, I'm going to label this guy, oh, he don't have a high ceiling. Like, bro, he's a good basketball player. No one's saying that about Damian Lillard, who, again, came in as was it a senior? Is it CJ who came in as a senior or junior? One of those. So I forget, but either either way, guys who played at least 3 years of college basketball. Nobody is complaining about, oh, this guy is 32, 33. Like, no, he's a superstar. He's a star. He's a borderline all-star. That's what we're all saying. We're not worried about the age, bro. We're not. Can you hoop? Are you a ball player? That's what we want to see from these prospects coming into the NBA. Are they willing to do the little things to win basketball games, to help their teams win basketball games? That's what you got to be asking yourself. Jalen Green, I think he's ready for that. Cade Cunningham, without question, he's ready for that. And they're both going to get a lot of run and opportunities to fail and succeed, right? Because rookies won't make a lot of mistakes. Vets make a lot of mistakes. So that's, something that we should anticipate. Without question, these guys are going to make mistakes. They're probably going to run into a rookie wall because they've never played the amount of games that they're going to play in the NBA. All these things we got to take into account, man. How y'all doing? I'm just here to hear for the Ben Simmons news. What'd you think of Suggs? So my final prediction, so we can move on to my next rookies, is I believe Cade Cunningham has the better game today, but the Houston Rockets will win the game. Alperen Sengun is going to have another double-double. The kid is a beast. I love Sengun. He really impressed me even more than what I was already impressed with. And I talked about that in my Rockets video, in my Rockets recap from day one. Sengun is just ready to make this guy is going to be a dude that's going to average 15 to 22 points his entire career because he's so skilled inside the paint. He's such a great rebounder already. He's so strong for his size, for his age, honestly. He's outplayed Evan Mobley, the number 3 pick. And again, guess what? You can't use the age excuse there, buddy. You cannot use the age excuse against Sengun because Sengun just turned 19. Thank you. Thank you. Just evaluate the prospects for what they are in black and white. You take away the names, and you see, okay, this prospect does this prospect does that. That's how I evaluate guys. I don't care what it is, like what their age is. Like, no, like, can you play right now? That's it. And Sengun can't play right now. Who knows? He could be a dark horse for Rookie of the Year, which is a great transition into Jalen Suggs, who I think is my early candidate for Rookie of the Year. Jalen Suggs is such a baller. Literally, the first 2 minutes, I was like, oh my God, this guy is so good. He does everything well. He's such a smart basketball player, and you combine that with athleticism, with the fast first step, with the dog mentality. The Orlando Magic, again, it just worked out because Scotty Barnes, to me, again, I had him number 2 on my big board, and I'm super confident that's going to pan out. But I wouldn't have been as confident if he had gone to Orlando because the Toronto Raptors is a great organization to be in for young guys like him who really, I don't even want to say he don't have a dog mentality, but he don't have Jalen Suggs' personality, which will help him prevail regardless of whether or not the Magic is a good organization. So Oladipo, all the other young guys who have panned out on different teams that were previously with the Orlando Magic, same with the Sacramento Kings. Like, if you put Suggs on the Kings, Suggs on a team that isn't known to develop guys, I'm confident he's going to pan out no matter what because he's such a strong personality on the court and he just knows how to play. The guys who are, I'm kind of like, situation matters, right? If he goes to this team, I don't know if he'll pan out, right? So honestly, it worked out for both teams. The Raptors got a monster in Scotty Barnes. Not to say again, I just feel more confident that Scotty Barnes would probably showcase everything he has in his arsenal with the Raptors as opposed to the Orlando Magic. And that's not a knock on the Magic. That's just me saying Jalen Suggs is just a perfect fit there. And when he fell to number 5, they were happy to take him regardless of having RJ and Cole. Like, they were all playing together yesterday, and that was fun to watch. 3-guard lineups, and a lot of people want to make a big deal out of, oh, well, we got too many guards. No, you don't. You never have too many guards in the NBA nowadays. It's 2021, guys. We need to put the best 5 players on the court, regardless of position. That's how it goes. Obviously, I'm not gonna put 5 guards out there. Like, don't take myself out of context. Out of context. I know a lot of you guys want to do that, but that's not the case. Make sure you guys hit the like, share, and subscribe for more content like this. Make sure you guys leave a review on iTunes, and you guys can catch us on Spotify as well. But yeah, Jalen Suggs, man, I was so impressed. Right now, he is my favorite to win Rookie of the Year. He's going to get a lot of playing time. He just takes charges. He's tough. He's good defensively. He scores the ball well. There's nothing he can't really do, man. He shoots the 3 ball well, and he made that insane game-winning block to send the game to overtime, right? He had a chance to win the game. He got fouled. They didn't call it. He could have won it in regular time, but then he won it in overtime with only 2 minutes. That's how you do overtime here in Summer League. He's just that play alone is Jalen Suggs in a nutshell. He just makes the right play, I feel like, almost all the time. So Jalen Suggs, right now, he's my favorite to win Rookie of the Year. Super impressed. And real quick with Moses Moody and Kuminga. Kuminga's been very impressive. Even at the California Classic, I was really impressed with what he showed, even though it was just one game. Moody played really well in that one game in sack, but he didn't play as well, I would say, yesterday. Kuminga continued to play well. I like what I saw from him. Kyle, gosh, shout out to him. Guy's a bucket. He was just getting buckets. No matter who was guarding him, he's super crafty with the basketball. He knows what to do. He's a professional scorer, as we like to say. So shout out to Kyle Guy. There was some messy stuff with, I guess he didn't get like a formal goodbye. My thoughts on that real fast is I don't know what to think of that. You're Yeah, like you should have said bye. It don't take you that long to make a phone call. Hey man, Kyle, thank you so much for your service here with the Kings. You did a great job. I wish him but the best. Like, I'm sure he would have appreciated that. Is it that huge of a deal? I don't think it is, to be honest with you. But I do understand the formality of it and the public relations aspect to that. So again, it's like, I get it, but I don't. Like, I don't want to make a big deal out of it because I don't think it's that big of a deal. But to some extent, from a class perspective, like, you would have liked for them to say, like, Monty would, oh, hey, dude, I wish you good luck, blah, blah, blah. That fast, like, I don't know. I'm kind of torn between that. So Jalen Suggs, Moses Moody, Kuminga. It's just an impressive class, and a lot of people want to just shit on the class, like, oh, it kind of ends after like 7. Like, no, it doesn't. We had Trey Murphy going off yesterday, who I love, by the way, and I kept telling you guys, and I told Coach AC, right, who was a Pelicans fan, like, you're going to love Trey Murphy. Dude scores 6 threes, posterizes a guy, showing all his 6'9" frame. I love Trey Murphy, man. He's going to be a solid 3-and-D type guy for the Pelicans. Perfect fit next to a guy like Zion Williamson, which again is a great transition into the whole Buddy Hield and Josh Hart. My thoughts on that, to be honest with you, if that was a deal, I hope there were picks included because Buddy Hield is a better basketball player than Josh Hart. So I saw my comments on Instagram post that I would say was like, what the hell? What was Monty thinking? And that report is just a generalized this player for that player without the supplementary pieces, would be my guess. I hope. Because if it was just a 1-for-1, and again, there's no context to the report. How much were you willing to pay Josh Hart? $23 million? Like, that matters, right? That's a guy that I want to pay 12, 13 max, right? But to keep it from 10 to 12. Buddy makes 23, so I don't know how that would have worked. um Kind of confused on it. So that's why as a overall package, I I don't get it. Like, and I don't know what their cap situation is. And I'm talking about the Pelicans. If they're so say hypothetically he gets paid 13. That's about a $10 million difference. Can they absorb the additional $10 million of Buddy Hield? I don't know the answer to that because I haven't really looked at their salary cap. So if someone can answer that in the comments below, I would feel much better about that. But I would still want a future first round pick since they have a bunch of them. So first pick, you get rid of $10 million, you get a good player in return. That deal makes sense to me. But if it's just Buddy and Josh and you pay him $23 million or anywhere or anything after 13, I'd be like, hell no. I'm not paying Josh Hart 14, 15. No, stop it. I'm not paying him that money. So that's how I feel about that deal. Hope that makes sense. Ben Simmons. Well, anybody else who has impressed me in terms of the summer league, Murphy, Suggs, Sengun, yeah, I think if I haven't, let me know if you guys have any other questions about anybody else. Not sure if you've addressed it yet, but could we talk about Simmons and Siakam? Yes. So let's get to the Ben Simmons and Siakam. Kind of the first news. We'll just go over some of the stuff. Toronto is not my preferred destination. I have higher ambitions. That's what Goran Dragic say, and I say that because it's important to take note of that. And I asked a guy from the Raptors today that covers the Raptors, and I pretty much asked him, realistically, do you think the Kings have a real chance to get a guy like Siakam? And he said not really because he's not excited about the package that doesn't include a Mitchell, a Tyrese, or a Fox. And I feel like that is the realistic sentiment from Toronto. He said Siakam had a down year, with injuries. They didn't get to play in Toronto. They were playing in Florida, so they weren't really home. I feel like that's a real thing. Honestly, them not playing at home and being in a different country, honestly. But that's how a lot of Raptors fans feel. So they don't want to sell low. And there's Bagley doesn't get them excited, he said. Buddy doesn't get them excited. I said, so would they do 3 first-round picks, Buddy and Bagley and Tristan Thompson? He said Thompson's just a filler. And then the picks, he goes, It just, that's not that exciting because we all know that if that happens, the Kings are going to be good. So those picks are going to be in the 20s. So that doesn't excite him that much. And the whole Dragic thing is, are they going to create salary relief, or are they going to take contracts back? Because the rumors are that the Mavericks want him, but they don't want anything from the Mavericks. That's what I got in terms of Siakam. Something that's realistic from the other lens point of view, right? I would say Raptor fans aren't excited for that type of deal because they don't have to trade Siakam. That's the thing. He's under contract. They will love a lineup of OG Siakam and Scotty Barnes. Like, that is freaking scary. With Fred VanVleet. Like, it honestly, and I'm a Kings fan, but it just doesn't make sense for them to sell low. I don't understand what the urgency. There's an urgency from the Kings, duh. But for the Raptors, it's like, well, I don't have to trade him. Like, if I don't get the deal that I want, why would I trade him? And that's me keeping it 100. Why would they trade him? Right? That's it. Now, the Ben Simmons deal is a little bit different because he doesn't want to be there. He's already, quote, let me see. Well, this is from Kendrick Perkins. Ben Simmons is not answering the phone calls. He don't want to be with the Sixers. And from what I've heard, he's willing not to report to training camp and will go as long as it takes for him to get out of Philly. That's huge. That is a major catalyst. That's something different from the Siakam deal. Again, the Raptors don't have to trade him. They don't have to sell low on him at all. He's not complaining. He's not publicly saying, I want to leave Toronto. That's the big difference. But the difference is Ben Simmons is worth more. He's younger. He's a better player overall, I would say. And that's where it gets tricky. But are the Sixers willing to essentially compromise and take that deal? Well, essentially, it would be the original deal that I had proposed. That was the most realistic, which was Harrison Barnes, Buddy Hield, Marvin Bagley, and 2 future picks, which wasn't this year. I don't know if you guys remember that. I kept saying it. A 2022 and a 2024 first round pick, 2 picks in 22 and 24, not 21, because I wanted to keep the number 9 pick and just see what they did, because I was super ecstatic about this class. And as you guys can see, it's a very good class. That to me screams, okay, I get Harrison Barnes, true professional, can play with Tobias Harris, can play with Joel Embiid, stretch the floor out, play defense, guy that can do a little bit of everything. Buddy Hield, elite shooting. I need that around Joel Embiid to spread the floor. You don't want to leave him open. Makes a lot of sense. Bagley, nice little project as a backup, and then future picks. I don't know if the Sixers will get a better deal. Maybe the Blazers come into play and they're like, okay, I want to get rid of CJ, but CJ has such a huge connection with ownership that I don't know if they're willing to do that. That deal, besides the Kings deal, they're right there, man, and it's a competitive deal. You get HB, Bagley, Buddy, and 2 future picks. If you want to throw in the third, go right ahead. I don't mind it. The Kings are going to be good if they get Ben Simmons, like really good, especially defensively. They're going to be elites. So they're going to go from a team that was the worst defensively, if this trade happens, to now being a top 5 defensive team in the NBA. Bar nothing. Book it. A lot of teams will have off nights. I promise you that. What are people saying? Zaid Asamarali, you don't know shit. Thank you. Hit the like button though. Our Zone Production is the Pelicans. Put it up there. Okay, our zone says the Pels have 35 million cap space. Also, this trade was, I guess, on draft day. Was that like the backup plan to the non-Laker deal? Ramsey. So I thought Jemias had a great game yesterday. Very good game. I'm not if you guys watch my stream, because I streamed the game live, I'm just not impressed with Woodward. I wasn't impressed at the classic. He's been disappointing because he's in great shape. He's in football shape, right? He looks like a bodybuilder out there, like a linebacker, but it's not translating onto the basketball court. Those are my thoughts. He's not good right now. He needs a lot of development time. He needs to be more sure about himself, more assertive out there. His jump shot needs to get quicker, I would say. It takes a little bit too long to develop and to shoot. It's more of a 2-motion shot as opposed to a 1 quick trigger. But he can get away with it because he's so athletic and he's so tall. But those would be my takeaways. And Jemiah just had a good game. He's playing with a lot of confidence. It started defensively for him, and that made him feel good. Shots are falling. Great overall game. Whether or not he makes the team or if they trade him, there's no space for him to play as of right now. But again, he's on a really good deal. Was he second round pick? So it's not like you have to play him. Like, you don't feel this pressure to play him, if that makes sense. So you can keep him in Stockton, continue to develop him, to develop him, and he'll be just fine. Like, I'm not worried about that at all. And he would understand. Kevin says trading Siakam would be more likely if the Raptors don't do well for the first few months. Honestly, with Siakam out for a while, there's a decent chance they aren't a top team in the East. I don't know. I think if healthy, they're pretty good, even without him. They're so well coached. I have to disagree with that, bro. Like, the Raptors could be a force to be reckoned with. Malachi Flynn is a stud. He's going to be a backup, but He's a stud. They re-signed the kid from the Blazers that the Kings sold. I'm flipping on his name right now, but he's a stud. I don't see why they wouldn't be a top 8 team. Like I truly don't. Like they're really good, especially if Scotty Barnes is as impactful as I believe he will be. There's no reason why. Perk is not a good source. True, big facts. Geez, Harrison and Buddy for Simmons. Oh, Harrison and Buddy for Simmons. I don't think about that as far as Ben. Hell nah. Haha, does Monte has a Twitter so we can tell him to do the trade? Do you think, Tyson says, do you think Luke know how to use Simmons in the front court, and how does he fit with Holmes offensively? Offensively, at least in the half-court set, it just depends on what Simmons' development is as a jump shot. There's a lot of people like Kevin O'Connor saying, oh, he should be shooting right-handed. I've heard that from other coaches as well in the NBA that he's right-handed. He should be shooting with his right. I don't know what to think of that. I've said that before that I think he should shoot with his right, but the number one thing is to get a real coach, like say a Rob Fedor, who has taken guys like Bam Adebayo from 60-some% to 80-some% the free throw line, just overall. And he's done that with guys, even with elite shooters like Duncan Robinson, who they were really good, and he made them better. Ben Simmons had his brother as his coach. So, and again, that's what was reported. And just from a lack of he's been very immature, I would say. But again, he's 24 years old. He's accomplished a lot, all NBA player. If he can mature in that aspect of his career, he's going to be a monster. He's already really good. He's going to be better if he can take that next step. So say he doesn't have a jump shot. That's the thing. Like, I just want him to attempt it. He doesn't even have to shoot a high clip. He just has to want to attempt it. And if he does, you can put him in a dunker spot. You can put him on the elbow, run a lot of horns action with him. He's such a gifted passer. He's so much faster. If you just watch Giannis play and tell him, okay, Ben Simmons, I want you to be Giannis, catch the ball in the post. He has post moves. He has a nice swinging hook shot. Just be that. Honestly, like, you can do this like Giannis. You have to have the motor, the desire to be this. I don't think he's cut from the same cloth as Giannis, and I'll be completely transparent because Giannis comes from, again, from poverty, from the very bottom. So he's built differently. But if he can be 75% of what Giannis is in terms of that aggressive pursuit to the rim, he already scored 16 points without having a jump, without really attempting jump shots. Think about that. He can easily put up 20, 21 points if he really, really wants to. Like, if you just, it's up here, bro. Like, it's not a question of talent. Like, it's not. He's that good, though. So to answer your question, full circle, does Luke know how to use him? I hope Luke has learned now coming into, what is this, year 5 for him? He's a brilliant basketball mind. He comes from a basketball family, bro. It just doesn't fit my mind how he should be so much better. Like, he has the moxie of a great head coach, young, you know what I'm saying? Like, he has a charisma, players like him. Can he do it from an X's and O's perspective? Can he execute the game plan? And can guys buy into what he's saying? I hope so. I'm trying to be super optimistic about this, but even someone like Luke, who, if you give him an All-NBA player and if you give him a better roster, they should be better, bro. Honestly, they should. Danny Kelly says, personally, I'd rather go for Simmons as he's younger. Me too. Siakam is not being traded. GM Webster already said they are building around Siakam, OG, Fred, Vant. Yeah, again, without even having that context, there's no need to trade him right now. His value is low. You'd be selling low. Why would you do that? We'd lose so much by trading for Simmons. We'd have a start Mo Harkless. Our depth would be terrible. We need a shooter to run in that starting lineup. So your starting lineup would be Holmes, Simmons, front court, and it would be Tyrese, Fox. I don't want to start Mo Harkless. Oof. You might have to start Terrence Davis. Or, well, or you go out and you get Caleb Martin, one of the Martin twins. I wouldn't be opposed to that. Like, defensively, you'll be fine. It's not like, oh my God, you got monsters defensively now, right? You got two dudes who are good in your front court, like Simmons and Holmes, extremely versatile. And if we believe Mitch is going to light a fire under Fox's ass, like, you're going to be elite defensively. So now the question is, does Terrence Davis become that guy for you? That's the real question. And if that's the case, the Kings are fine. The Raptors without Siakam aren't as good as the Kings, point blank. There's a reason why they draft higher than the Kings this year. Well, to have some context, they were banged up the whole year, bro. Like, that's just the truth. The Raptors were hurt the entire season. Lowry missed a bunch of games. Against Siakam missed games. Freddie VanVleet missed games. OG missed a lot of games. So there's context to their record. And they sat out some guys to try and tank, honestly. Buddy and Bagley first for Ingram. That's not going to happen. Like, why would they do that? Ingram's worth more than Siakam is. Takes a special breed to do what Giannis does. Dude plays 110% every second, more than a minute, every game. Those are not facts. Again, like, they're not cut from the same cloth, right? Do you think there's a chance for Fox and Hallie included the trade for Simmons? That'd be the most realistic thing, which is something that I would be. It'd be Halliburton, right? Again, I keep telling people this. That is the last piece in terms of whether or not I think they would make that deal happen or not, as opposed to getting rid of Barnes, you get rid of Halliburton, and it's a tough trade, bro. But push comes to shove, I may have to go for it. Like, I don't want to, and let's be very clear, they may have to go for it because Ben Simmons is an All-NBA player, and he's just that good. So Tyson says, imagine the Kings switching on defense with Mitchell, HB, Holmes, and Simmons. They could switch on every screen. Yeah, that is the right personnel to have, for sure. Will the NBA expand the roster temporarily because of the rise of COVID? Not sure. Not sure. Who is a small forward if Barnes goes to Philly? And just answered that. So shout out to Mr. Huggins. I'd probably start TD. Harkless, that lineup would be so hard to watch. I like that Gracie as our new defensive coach. You can see a difference in intensity they played with when he was coaching. I don't even care about Simmons shooting jump shots. I just want him to hit free throws at least 70% because that the team would draw. Yeah, I mean that's a great point. The way you would set up Simmons is just attacking the rim, and he's gonna get fouled a lot, right? So he has to prove it if he can make free throws, because if not, we're gonna see a lot of hack of Simmons, and that stops momentum. That stops rhythm, which is so key to basketball. Your timing is off. He needs to hit free throws. If he hits 70%, as Tyson says, and he's being generous with this, 70% of your free throws, that's money. Like that's key right there. Some of the other news as well. Hassan Whiteside turned down offer from the Trailblazers to sign with the Jazz instead. Dennis Schroeder believed to be in the state of shock about rejecting the Lakers' $84 million. Oh my God, talk about this doofus head. He rejects an $84 million deal to now potentially getting the mid-level exception from the Celtics. That's crazy. Sometimes I'm pro player, but you can't be that silly, man. Like, you gotta take the $84 million. What are you thinking? That is nuts. DeMar DeRozan reportedly received interest from Philadelphia, Portland, Phoenix, Golden State, Boston, New York in free agency. Bruce Brown says, I think we all know what would have happened last year if we were healthy. Big F, Bruce, buddy. Stay in your lane, homie. Kyle Lowry took $5 million less to sign with Miami Heat over the Pelicans. That's not crazy at all. Like, that's not crazy at all. And then we have the Mavericks, Pelicans, Celtics, and Timberwolves have all shown interest in signing Lauri Markkanen to deals worth around $15 million per season. That's a guy that could be linked to the Kings as well. Russell Westbrook is ecstatic to be a Laker. Mark Cuban says, I think we've improved our team considerably. That's trash take. Like, no, they haven't. Luka's not happy about that. The Raptors have been resistant to the possibility of trading Goran Dragic to the Dallas Mavericks. Obviously, spoke about that earlier. No need to get rid of him. He's on an expiring deal. They can just keep him and keep him hostage, pretty much. Or he can be like, okay, release me, buy me out, and you don't have to pay me. Like, that could be his last resort. He's made a lot of money. Like, stop, you know? And we'll end it with this because it really bugs me that chances are slim to none that the NBA voids a Kyle Lowry and Lonzo Ball deals. There was obvious tampering going on. Kings Bucks did this last year, essentially canceled the deal. And if a big market does this, there are no repercussions. Oh, they may lose, or they may get fined, or they may lose some picks. Like, what? I don't give a you know what, okay? Cancel these deals. Because if you're going to do that to the Bucks last season, you got to do it to these other teams. You cannot continue to do this and let the big markets get away with it. They can pay the fines. They have no issues paying the fines. You not unmaking this deal or voiding this deal just makes you a laughing stock, and everybody knows it, man. It's such a bad look for the NBA. Such a bad look. And then today, one last thing. Watch how he comes out when attacks Cade Cunningham. He said pre-draft, I am the #1 pick. I'm the best prospect. That's what Jalen Green said. So again, as circling back to the beginning of the show, get your popcorn ready. It's going to be a hell of a game. I'm probably going to be at most of that game and then catch the second half of the Kings game. It sucks that they're an hour from each other. Like, why would they do that? Dang it. But it's official. Russell Westbrook got introduced with the number 0 today with LA Lakers. And this is what his quote was. Things that we talked about, me and him, just the potential of me being a Laker and understanding what that entails. It's just crazy to think about. That'll be with me every time I put out the Lakers jersey on. Russell Westbrook on his relationship with Kobe Bryant. Awesome stuff there. A Stephen Curry documentary is in the works. Titled Underrated, the film will chronicle Curry's historic rise to prominence during March Madness when he played for Davidson. That's going to be a fun documentary to watch. And the Timberwolves have kicked the tires on the Josh Hart and Dennis Schroeder. Makes sense. That is pretty much all of the news that we got for today. If we traded Hallie and the Simmons deal, would Mitchell start? Yes, he would start. I would start him, yes. $84 million would be an overpay for Dennis. He was parading around demanding 110. My God, what a dummy. Cancel the deal, Monty Santiago. So everybody that's watching, again, hit the like, share, and subscribe, man. Thank you guys so much. We'll have more content today. If you guys haven't caught all my content, make sure you guys go to all the videos. You hit the like. You know what I'm saying? Just help out in that way, or just watch some of them if you got the time. I love interacting with you guys. The NBA should void the Westbrook Lakers trade 8 days as well. Yeah, man, let's just void all these deals, bro. But no, for sure, the Alonzo Ball and Lowry should be voided, but they're not going to. Again, reports are slim to none. It's not going to happen. That's just how the NBA rolls, bro. That's just how the NBA rolls. But that's all I got for you guys today. Number 1 against number 2, Suggs against Cade Cunningham is going to be a hell of a game. Shengun, he's going to want to prove it and showcase why he should have been a lottery pick for sure. Definitely a top 10 pick. 7th best player on my big board. I can't wait. And then we get a close-up look at Kispert today for the Wizards. That should be fun. I would like to see Dave Young guard him and shut him down as well, because what concerns me is the really talented, bigger players. They'll just be able to shoot over him, and that's one of the concerns that I have. Can he guard a guy like him that's bigger? Well, he's not at the Kispert isn't at the level of these star wings, right? So, but it's still I still want to watch it from my own 2 eyes to see that. What can he do? What can he do early on in that possession to speed up that star wing player and just get him off an inch or 2 to the right, to the left, so they can miss that shot? Because they're going to get a shot over him. It's just a matter of, are they comfortable getting those shots, right? Like the KDs of the world. KD, for the most part, won't be fazed by it because he's Kevin Durant. But the other guys, like the Paul Georges, the Kawhi, well, Kawhi is also an exception. Like, no matter what you do, he's going to get up a shot and he's going to make it. Like the Paul Georges, like those types of players, can his defensive acumen be enough to make it very difficult on these guys and for them to miss shots to where they have an off night? I'll leave it at that. Thank you guys so much. And on behalf of the entire CK family, Basketball Zone family, we'll see you guys very soon tonight after both games, after the Kings Wizards and the Pistons Houston Rockets. Thank you guys. I'll see you guys very, very soon. Peace.